Girl power was a term coined in the 1990s and early 2000s. It stood for female empowerment, independence, and self-assurance. It also linked to third-wave feminism. The term was made popular by the Spice Girls. This episode features female artists. We're going to find out about the art, but we're also going to touch on women's rights issues. Is it more challenging to be female in the creative industries? What about equal pay? What about creative freedom? Let's go find out and see where this episode takes us. Our first guest and main guest for this episode is Jordan Alexabder. After Ellen interviewed her, and she was called the next gay pop star, and Diva magazine included her on their list of ones to watch in 2016. Jordan, hello. You have a cute story that I read in your bio about how you started. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, so I've been playing guitar since I was 12, but my girlfriend bought me a guitar that could be plugged in, so basically one you could go perform with.
Okay.
And she was like, you need to go play and sing, and she signed me up for a Spectra talent competition, so that's really when I started taking it a bit more seriously.
All right, so what's Spectra?
Spectra is a talent competition. It happens every year, and it's just like a super open, safe space, like a great spot for like LGBT artists and anyone really.
Okay. When was that? When did you do it?
I did it in 2013, so that's when all this kind of started.
3 years ago? Okay.
Yeah.
And what have you been up to since then?
Okay, so since Spectra, I did Honey Jam. I did Honey Jam actually the afternoon before I went to the end of Spectra and won it. Okay. So I was kind of started doing that. And then I did Honey Jam again, and I met my now producer, Gerald Eaton,
okay,
who discovered Nelly Furtado
Whoa.
at Honey Jam.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting coincidence. And it was the first time he'd actually gone back to Honey Jam to see if he could find anybody, any artists. Okay. So yeah, and then recently, it's kind of a funny story. I work at a bookstore, and my manager was like, do you want to come sell books at the Biff Naked book launch? Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes, of course, because I love Biff Naked and she's so cool. And then I ended up exchanging cards with her and her manager, and now Biff Naked's manager manages me.
Who inspires your work and creativity? Do you have a special style or artist, past or present, that you relate to?
Kind of. I mean, I feel like it's a lot of people, like even artists that I'm not necessarily like that into listening myself. I hear something that they do and I think like, oh, that's interesting and cool. Like, you know, on the radio, not necessarily that I'm listening to it, but I really like Taylor Swift. Okay. She does like really her songwriting style is like really storytelling, and I feel like mine is the same kind of thing, like poppy, but like with a folk element, because I'm writing all of these songs on my guitar.
A message?
Message.
Do you kind of message songs? Like,
yeah, definitely message songs, actually,
okay. Cool. You shared the stage with, I can't believe it, I love it, Tegan and Sarah. Yeah. Tell us about that. Where, when, what was the experience like?
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Everyone was kind of laughing at me because I was so excited all leading up to it. And like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And then like when they came there, I was like, and like this girl that was with me was like, oh God, I was like, no, I can't.
You talked to them? Of course you talked to
them. We took a picture together. I was like, oh, you guys are so amazing. But yeah, it was great. That was at the TD Cafe. I think it was the first year that they did that in 2014. It was super cool. They had artists opening up for Tegan and Sarah, and it was just like a really awesome time.
And I hear you're performing for a couple of prides. Where is that? Where are you doing?
June 17th and 18th, I'm doing Columbus, Ohio Pride.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is super cool because...
How did you get that gig?
I know, the organizer reached out to me, and yeah, it was so random because, I mean, I'm Canadian, I'm really just starting out for the most part, and she was just like, oh, I saw your video, I really like it, would you want to come? And so, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, so it's just out of a video. There you go.
Yeah, it was really cool.
All right,
oh,
and
then
you're in Toronto?
I'm going to do Toronto,
when?
Which is great. July 3rd.
July 3rd? What stage?
I don't know.
Do you know? You don't know?
I'll post it on my website. I'll post it on my website,
Post it on her website and find the information. We're going to take a little break, everyone, and we will be back with the lovely Jordan.
Hi everyone, I'm Lorenzo Pagnotta and welcome to On the Couch. I'm very excited to be here today with one of my close friends, Katie Sly, who is a multidisciplinary Toronto-based artist. Thank you so much for being here on the couch.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So the first question I want to ask is, how did you get started in the arts?
I've known that I wanted to write from as far back as I can remember. When I was a teenager, movies and going to the movies and escaping my life through movies was a huge coping mechanism and a huge part of what got me through my days. So I went to film school, actually, originally, before I got into theater, which is what I do now, theater and performance art. I went to film school. I wanted to write for film and television, but there wasn't much writing happening in the program I was in. So after that, I went to George Brown College for writing for film and television. And I don't know if it was the particular teacher I had, or the plays that we went and saw as part of that course, or the writing assignments that the teacher gave us, but this new voice started tumbling out of me that felt like new but familiar but feral and honest and surprising. And having that cathartic experience of knowing that something is coming out of you but you are surprised by it, I was like hooked, which is why I know I write theater. So that's how I got in.
So I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to ask you, do you believe that the arts are an important vehicle for human rights or women's rights advocacy?
Oh, absolutely. Because I think that the power of the arts is to give you a window into a world that's not your own and allow you to cathartically experience walking through a body other than your own and walking through a sexual orientation and a gender and an experience that's not familiar to you. I think that that's the reason, the cultural value and the cultural capital that stories and the arts offer society and why they're necessary, because they're a vehicle for empathy. I remember Tarragon Theatre a couple of years ago, I think that their tagline for their season was something about something along the lines of empathy is the muscle of compassion. And that really resonated. So absolutely, I mean, that's important in terms of rights and advocacy. How do you explain to someone who has never been afraid for their life walking down the street at 3 o'clock in the morning what that experience is? I can say that to you, and you can say, oh, that's terrible. But to actually go through the experience and really understand that viscerally and in your body, that creates an awareness on a whole different way. There's that awareness of intellectually understanding something, and then there's that awareness of feeling it in your body and in your stomach and in your intestines and in your fingertips. And I think that good art allows you to feel something in your body.
So you're the organizer of Too Queer, a Bi-Visibility Cabaret.
Yeah.
Did I get the title right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
Amazing.
I've been to the event. It is an amazing event, and it's become, I think, very important in our city. And I want you to speak to that. I want you to maybe share why you think it's become a meaningful event for our community.
One of the reasons that this cabaret is necessary and why it seems like the city has been really hungry for it is that there are so many people who fall outside of that I'm attracted to this one particular thing, whether they're straight or gay, that there are a lot of people whose experiences are more nuanced than that, or whose experiences fall somewhere in that area in between, but don't fall straight down the line. Like being bisexual for me is not a 50-50 thing. It's not I'm attracted to everyone in exactly the same way or exactly in the same quantities or anything like that. And I think that people have been looking for a space in which to express that, and looking for a community and looking away to acknowledge the ways in which they're queer and that kind of thing that falls outside of I'm going to get married to a person of this gender. Absolutely, that's an experience that's engaged in an exploration. Not to say that other people's experiences aren't, but an experience that coming out doesn't necessarily provide answers to, or how do I shape my life and what are the decisions I make about the people I'm with. These are really, really complicated lifelong navigations. I mean, for myself, being bisexual means that while I can engage in monogamous relationships, I don't see myself in a lifelong monogamous relationship. And that'll always be a negotiation and a thing that I go through. So I think that the cabaret is providing people a space to explore experience and express experience and connect, and I'm going to say this probably most importantly, connect with like-minded individuals who are asking those same kind of questions.
So let's talk about Charisma first. Premiered at Summerworks
Yeah,
last year.
in August
and,
2015.
Right, and it's going to be produced in Vancouver
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Hey, thanks.
Tell us a little bit about Charisma first.
Ooh, I would call Charisma First a performative archive of my relationship with love. And when I say that, love of myself and love of other people. And it exists, and it's a very vignette-based piece. It's an hour-long performance piece that kind of negotiates that space between storytelling and performance art. Very vignette-based. Some of the bits of it are stand-up comedy. Some of it's poetry. Some of it's me being naked and tying myself up in the room. It's a cool piece. And I'm really honored to. So I debuted it in the live art series at Summerworks in 2015, curated by Kathy Gordon, who is like the most amazing person you'll ever meet. And now it's been picked up by the Revolver Festival in Vancouver, and it's being co-produced or co-presented by the Frank, which is Vancouver's queer theater company. So it's really exciting.
Awesome. How do we learn more about you or your work? Do you have a website or anything like that?
I should have a website, but I'm really creepy and I like people who are following my work to just be my friends. So look me up on Facebook and send me a message. Katie Sly on Facebook.
Thank you so much for being on the couch with us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back.
And we are back with Jordan. Jordan, do you think it is harder for a female to be in the industry than a male?
Yeah, I think that that's been proven. Personally, I haven't really, but I'm also a really type of like optimistic person in a way that like maybe I wouldn't notice if people are slighting me because I'm just like, oh yeah, they didn't mean to or something.
Okay.
But I mean, it's kind of just like a hard truth.
Yeah.
The fact is that that's just what happens, and just because I personally haven't really experienced that much of it.
Have you heard of anybody?
Of course,
Yeah,
of course, and I know it happens, so I
Okay.
definitely would want to acknowledge that.
In your opinion, do you think women get treated differently within the industry? Let's talk about pay-wise, creative freedom, and objectification, which is something that
Yeah, well, I mean, with the pay, that's just numbers. Like it's not anybody's opinion. We already know that women are being paid
so
less.
they are getting
Yeah,
paid less in your
it's
industry?
Just, yeah.
Okay.
Well, in my industry,
All industries.
I think so. In all industries,
Yeah.
specifically music. Like, I'm not sure. Probably, I don't see why that wouldn't
Be different than anything else? Okay.
And then
Creative freedom?
Creative freedom. I have a lot of creative freedom, but that's my personal experience. I think that a lot of the times,
Good for you.
yeah, thank you. Even in just like, imagine like high school, if you're part of a project, I feel like maybe female voices who aren't like, I don't know, super confident would just get talked over, and like you can kind of see it in every aspect where girls are just kind of told to be quieter and not share their opinions, whereas boys are told to be assertive and dominant, and so.
Too bad. And objectification.
Objectification.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean.
We need more objectification of guys so it can balance. But
Yeah, I mean, I think that like if things were equal, everything would just be so much easier. We wouldn't have to like be stepping on eggshells. Like, that's what people who are kind of like, against feminism or whatever, they're always like, I don't want to be walking on eggshells. And it's like, if we were all equal, we wouldn't have to. But the fact is that we've been like kept down.
I've heard bad stories about if a female doesn't look the certain look, she wouldn't make it into a video because the producers or the record producers don't want to.
I mean, like, I feel like girls and women, like body discrimination, just like the pressure to be thin or a certain type of body type, and obviously like
it's not the same as men.
No, and guys are never told to put on makeup. Okay, this is one thing I've experienced.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna put on makeup? You're gonna put on makeup? I'm like, excuse me, did you tell him to put on makeup? Like, I didn't feel like putting on makeup. It's not really my thing. And the thing is that like I feel like anybody who wants to wear makeup should wear makeup. That's
you
fine.
can actually wear asked that.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I know. It's just like I was kind of
because
just
you
like,
look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just like a little bit annoying. I like this is who I am, and so I'm not really about to go change it just because you said something.
What would you like to see women do more of?
Anything that they want to.
Yeah, that's the great.
Yeah, like
whatever you want, do it.
Whatever you want. Yeah, I personally, my brand of feminism is not like a new set of rules for women. It's not like, oh, you have to get a job or whatever.
Because otherwise you're actually telling them what to do again.
No, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You just changed it, right?
Yeah.
So I just think that we're all human beings and we all have a right to be happy and we all have a right to do whatever the hell we want to do.
what your
it's
path
your
in
life.
life is. If you were the Prime Minister of Canada, what would you do?
I often think about this.
Okay.
Well, basically, I would do a lot of what Justin Trudeau's already done.
Oh, yeah.
Just the integration of the different types of people that we have in Canada. I think that's so important. So I just think like all about diversity and environment as well. Like put a huge emphasis on environment.
Okay. So let's take a bigger question. If
Yeah.
you were the first woman ruler of the whole entire world, what would be your first order of business? First order of business. Yeah.
I think the environment, because
Lovely.
I mean, I'm an animal species. Like I'm all about preservation of the species. Like if we don't have a planet, we won't exist.
So tell us maybe a strong female artist that you relate to.
Yeah, I would say Grimes. I get a lot of inspiration from Grimes. I feel like she has so much creative freedom and so much confidence in her work that, like, if I'm feeling like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this, even though I really want to, I get a lot of like inspiration from her because her newest album, Art Angels, has like this crazy album cover. And to me, I just imagine people being like, no, not that. Like it was her own art. She drew it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
You mentioned Beyonce of this.
And Beyonce, oh man, that's been my love.
Who doesn't love Beyonce?
Yeah, that's been my love since forever. I had a huge poster of Beyonce like right in front of my bed. So, like wake up.
Aww.
Yeah, she's
I hope
amazing.
she's watching.
Yeah.
Who's a female life hero? Like
hero?
a personal hero?
I mean, I have lots. My grandma's amazing.
Okay.
She's one of the, I mean, like she was coming of age in a time when women were like super, super oppressed.
Yeah.
Like we see the remnants of oppression nowadays, but like it was really tough for her, and she had her own business, and yeah, she was just a super powerful.
Hi, Grandma.
Yeah, hey, Grams, Penny. Like my mom, my girlfriend is also really inspiring. She's just amazing. She's a millwright.
Oh.
So that's basically like an industrial mechanic. So she's a female. She's like
Wow.
always the only girl, and she has to put up with a lot of stuff. A lot.
What is girl power to you?
Girl power is taking control of who we are as women and girls, and just ignoring kind of all of the pressures and expectations that other people put on us that we don't necessarily ascribe to.
Lovely. All right. So, Jordan, what's your advice would be to a young female artist who's trying to start in this industry?
I would just say, like, write your music, play your music as much as you can. When I was starting out, I played a lot of open mics, and I thought that was cool and fun. And collaborate with other artists. I don't really do it.
Collaboration is good.
I don't do it a lot, but I feel like it's really cool and important, and you can grow your skills because you notice something someone else does, and you just get inspired by it.
You got it. And we're gonna take another break, and we're gonna be back soon. Bye.
Hi, I'm Ryan Boa. Today I'm going to be chatting with model Kya Stopka. So Kya, thanks for being on the show. What got you into modeling?
Honestly, it was completely random. I thought I was cute when I was 18, 17 years old. So then I was just like, well, maybe I'll model for an agency. And I did. And then it just kind of took off. I took a little break. And then Instagram came along.
So Kya, please tell us what companies you model for.
I model for Untitled & Co., which is a store on Queen Street. If anybody wants to check it out, go for it. They have really, really nice, cute outfits. But besides that, I do a lot of freelance. So I do like book covers and magazine covers. I've been asked to do Inked magazine is I think the next project. A lot of stuff for the men's room.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, fetish stuff. I like. The kinkier, the better.
So Kya, since you're in the industry, let's talk about equality. Do you think there's equality between male models and female models?
I honestly think that females have it, of course, easier because more people want to see females on camera, but I think lately the male industry is starting to boom. I feel like a lot of gay, straight, trans, whatever, men are up and coming for sure in the modeling scene, and a lot of these people are booked for, I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of androgyny too, which is nice to see more male models like coming up in the scene and kind of overshadowing the females lately. So I don't know, I'm more into men's fashion, and I don't know, I guess it's just exciting to see that it's definitely booming, because it wasn't like this, say, 10 years ago. Or even when I started, it wasn't like this. It was mainly female dominated, but like being at Tom's or being a fashion week or even working like with different models myself, it's like men are constantly in shoots now too, and I don't know, it's a good thing, I think.
I think it's good to see, like for example,
diversity.
Yeah, and for example, how you said you do shoots for the men's room.
Yeah.
How it's called the men's room, but you were there in all their fetish gear, doing your shoots and doing your thing, right? So I think that's great too.
No. Those are probably my favorite shoots to do. I like playing that role where it's like, here, you're a female, wear a jockstrap or wear all this men's stuff, but cater to men, men that are not necessarily into you sexually. So I don't know.
But you still work it because
I
feel like as gay men, we still have a little Kya in us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Accurate.
How do you think technology has changed the world of modeling?
A lot. Again, you don't have to walk into a portfolio anymore. I don't have to go into an agency and be like, here's a book of stuff, hopefully you like me. It's photographers looking at the work I've already done and posted online, and then literally emailing me or messaging me, and that's how I got most of my work. When I did start, I wasn't getting paid, obviously. You have to put in your dues. You can't just wake up and decide I'm gonna model today and make money. Like, that doesn't happen. So I did put in my time with a variety of different photographers, and eventually that builds up a portfolio for you. They benefit from it as well. And then I was lucky in the sense that a lot of girls get really shady people messaging them on Instagram. It happens. I mean, it's social media. Of course, anyone can message you. So I was lucky in the sense that I had a really good photographer message me in the first place, and it kind of blew up from there. Like, he knew other people, and those other people messaged me, and then it just kind of kept going. So I never, thank God, had a bad experience with any weirdos or sketchy people, or even like mediocre shoots where you're just kind of like, So I feel like more people should be a little more picky with who they shoot with, depending on the kind of image you want. But
if people want to check you out on Instagram, what's your handle?
Ksobs. Thank you for that nickname.
Kya, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome, Betch.
Till next time, I'm Ryan Boa, signing off.
And we are back, lovely audience, and we are here with Jordan, and we're going to talk a little bit about personal stuff.
Okay.
So, where were you born? Family? Where? Heritage?
Yeah.
Tell us.
All right. So I was born in Burnaby, British Columbia.
Oh, cool.
Yes. And my family, I have 2 sisters, older, younger, and then 1 brother. And my heritage is, my mom is Irish and German, and my dad is black. We're not sure.
Oh my God, what a mix.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you out to them?
Yes.
Are they
I am.
accepting?
Yeah. Now.
Now?
They are good now.
Oh.
We're all good now.
Are they supportive of the music, of the performances?
Like 100%.
You serious?
Yes, my family
You're
is
lucky.
so, well, you know, I guess like when I first started out, they were like, oh, aren't you gonna go to nursing school? Because I applied to like 5 nursing schools or 5 schools for nursing, and then I declined them all and moved to Toronto. So they were kind of like, what? But now they're like super excited and just think it's really cool.
Beautiful.
So that's nice.
Jordan, what inspires you?
I would say love inspires me. A lot of like if we're talking musically, I write a lot of love songs. And also just the human experience and just, yeah, being
What makes
here.
you happy?
Music,
Okay.
my girlfriend,
Okay. Oh,
like
lovely stuff.
having enjoyable interpersonal experiences. Like, you know, sometimes you meet like not great people and that's so like, but then when you meet cool people that you connect with, it's just
It's
such
the
a
most
cool,
joy in the world,
yeah, it's a
right?
great feeling.
What makes you sad?
Discrimination, and anytime somebody like has a total disregard for somebody as a human being, I think that that's just like, that goes way over my head.
Abhorrent,
I can't understand it.
What change would you like to see in the LGBTQ community to make it even better?
I'm kind of a hermit, so I don't have...
Oh, you don't go out on the scene?
No, I don't really go out on the scene a lot, but I have heard from my bi and transgender friends that maybe we're still like going over some hurdles there with like biphobia and transphobia, and I just...
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, like,
Unfortunately, yeah.
we need to be like accepting of everybody. It's not like, oh, gays and lesbians, like that's a thing now. No, it's like acceptance of everybody and how they choose to express.
When we ask for the world to accept us, we'd better be accepting of each other.
I mean, you'd think.
You'd
think.
Very good. We are going to take another break, and we will be back, everyone.
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Soule. I'm a singer, songwriter, and actress. I currently play in a top 40 band called Synsonic. Some of my musical accomplishments are I made it past the first 3 rounds of Canadian Idol. I've worked on a cruise ship in Australia, and I was once flown to Hawaii for a special event concert, so that was pretty cool. So I started singing as a kid in church and in school, and 2 of my musical influences were my father and my sister, who I would listen to in church, and they had such a great ear for music and were able to just pick up any instrument and play it by ear. So that was pretty awesome to grow up in that environment. Musically, I am inspired to inspire others. So in my songwriting, I just hope to portray positivity and help other people overcome obstacles and whatever they're going through in their life, and just know that they can make it through and everything is going to be okay. So ideally in the future, I would love to have a bigger platform to inspire others. So I can send my message across the world, kind of like Bob Marley. Every time you listen to his music, it makes you happy. I would love to be able to do that. So I do think it's hard for females in the industry to make it, like versus males, but I kind of think it's hard for everyone. Everyone is going to have their certain obstacles to overcome, and I think ultimately having a positive attitude is going to break through that. In terms of pay and creative freedom, male versus female, I think it's about the same. Definitely women get objectified, but so do men. Ageism, racism, different kinds of prejudices come into play for sure. So these are just obstacles, though, that each of us must overcome. So as long as you're just nice and are pleasant to work with and have a great personality and just keep persevering, you will do well. So one of my female idols who has done that is Aretha Franklin. She's the queen of soul. My last name's Soule. I love soul music. And she was a black female, and she was a little bit overweight. And at the time, that's just unheard of. So she had to overcome all those obstacles and killed it, and is an amazing idol for me and many others. So you can do whatever you want to do in life, no matter what the obstacle, as long as you set your mind to it. That is my motto.
Hey guys, my name is Lauren Hoyles, or alternatively known as Lauren Haynes. I'm a 23-year-old singer-songwriter from just outside Toronto, Canada. Some of my musical accomplishments to date are I was the winner of the singer-songwriter category in the UK Songwriting Contest of 2015. I also was a finalist in the adult contemporary category of that competition. I was nominated for a TIMA, which is a Toronto Music Indie Award for Best Pop. I was a guest of celebrity radio host Cyrus Webb, which was amazing. I was on the same time slot as Beyonce's dad, and it was crazy. I sat on the Reverb Nation charts at #1 for both of my songs for quite a while. And I have been a featured artist on a few websites. I have been a crowd pick for both of my songs on Reverb Nation, and yeah, I really hope that this just gets better and better and continues to flourish with more accomplishments. I definitely think it's harder to be a female in the industry. I think that people automatically assume you're the weaker sex, and I mean, women know that's not true, but I feel like the industry can still be a little bit misogynistic, and I feel especially in such an industry that's kind of dominated by men, producers and the executives and the major label people, I feel like it's very male dominated, and I feel like women are still kind of a second hand in that. And, I feel like women are more easily objectified and more easily manipulated, whether they know it or not. I think the older that you are signed, I'm happy that I got into singing at the age that I did, because if anything was ever to happen, I have a solid foundation in the kind of person that I am and the kind of artist I am. Whereas, major labels that are, recruiting these young kids at 15, 16, 14, I feel like they're really easily molded and kind of said I know that you like singing this stuff, but you're going to sing this stuff instead because this is going to make us more money. I do think that women are obviously treated different in the industry. I think they're way more objectified, and I can't speak for pay. I'm not getting paid for any of my gigs or anything yet. I really can't say if they're paid less. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. But I feel like the creative freedom aspect of it, and I feel like the objectification and the sexualization of women is way, way, way stronger than it is for men. And I mean, I think to be honest, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I think that women are definitely taking their identities back. If you look at somebody like, Meghan Trainor or Adele or Alessia Cara, they're definitely kind of sticking to their guns of how they want to look and how they want to sound, and that's amazing. But I wish that more younger women and more girls could have that kind of freedom, and hopefully soon it will. But there's always going to be the objectification and sexualization of women in the industry. It's always going to be how it is, and we just have to stand up and make sure everyone knows that women are just as strong as men. Anyway, okay, so I hope you guys liked what I had to say, and I really hope you check out my music. It is at Lauren Haynes. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, pretty much anywhere music is streamable. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.
And we are back to wrap up, unfortunately, Jordan. So we're gonna ask our fast questions now.
Okay.
Your favorite color?
Pink.
Your favorite flower?
Lily. The lily.
Lilies?
Tiger lily.
Tiger lilies. Like it. Your favorite actress?
Toni Collette.
Oh my God, I love her. Good for you. Okay. Your favorite female-themed movie?
Girlhood.
Yeah, good one.
Such a good movie.
Your favorite female superhero?
Wonder Woman.
Why?
Because I read this little kid's book, it's literally for 5-year-olds, and I didn't know this about Wonder Woman, but she disguised herself because she was a princess and then competed in this Warriors competition and then won, and so I just thought that was so cool.
Cool.
So I like her a lot.
Somewhere you would like to visit?
Northern Canada.
Okay.
Yes.
That's beautiful. And best way to wake up?
Fast. I don't like when I lay in bed. It ruins my day. I like to be like.
Oh wow. Okay.
Slap water on me or something.
Last words to the LGBTQ community.
Hi. I would say love yourself, accept yourself. You're totally worth it, and listen to my music. JordanAlexabdermusic.com.
Check her out at Pride Stage.
Yes.
All
also
right.
that too.
Thank you, Jordan,
Thank
so
you.
much. You were amazing. Weren't all our guests wonderful? It was such an honor and a pleasure to meet such talented female artists. Like us on Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for all the love. Be well and see you soon.